General rules of differentiation.
Okay, good day class. Today we want to look at the general rules of differentiation. The general rules of differentiation. Now in previous videos we've already established the fact on the differentiation from the French principle. So anytime you have a function of, let's say, f of x, y is equal to, let's say, f of x, you have a function. How do we differentiate the function that is y of the x? So derivative of the y with respect to x. How do you do this? Now today we did that and realized that if you want to find using the first principle, then you get the limit of h approaching 0 of f of x plus h minus the f of x all divided by what? H. So this is what we got using the first principle. Now out of this, we've been able to establish a fact here for some rules of differentiation. And the first rule says that if you have a function where y is equal to x exponent n, then the derivative of y with respect to the derivative of x is equal to the n of x n minus 1. So if you have a function y is equal to x exponent n, then if you want to find the derivative of that function, the dy dx will then become this n multiplying the value of the x, and you take 1 from the n. So for example, if you have y is equal to x squared, y is equal to x squared, then dy of dx will then become 2 times x. That's the exponent power times x, 2 times x raised to the power 2 minus 1, which is the same as what? 2x. The same way, if you have y is equal to x cubed, then dy dx simply becomes 3 times the x, which is 3x, 3 minus 1, exponent 3 minus 1, which becomes 3x squared. 3x squared. Now the second one says that if you have a equal to ax exponent n, then the derivative of x is n times the a and x exponent n minus 1. Now example here, for example 2, the root 2, you can have, let's say you have 3x exponent 4. So let's say y is equal to 3x exponent 4. You have to find the derivative of y with respect to x. It becomes 4 times the 3, so 4 times the 3 times the x. I get it, so it's n times the a, the constant a times the x. All exponents, the x exponent 4 minus 1. So 4 3 will give you 12 and x, and 4 minus 1 will give you what? 3. So in simple terms, if you want to be fast, 4 times 3, and you take 1 from what? The exponent. And that is what? Differentiation. Now the same way, this one says that if you have 2 things, the function gives you 2 terms, ax exponent n plus bx exponent n. Then the derivative, you find the derivative for each of the terms. You find the derivative for each of the terms. So example on that is what? Perhaps we have, let's use this, y is equal to 3x exponent 4. Let's say plus 2x exponent 3. So this is the function. And you have to find the derivative of y with respect to the derivative of x. You have to differentiate each term individually. So what it means that this one, 4 times 3, which is 12, x 4 minus 1, which will give you 3, plus here to 3 times 2, which is 6 times x 3 minus 1, which will do what? 2. Now take note, anytime you have a constant, let's say if you have y is equal to a, y is equal to a, and you are asked to find the derivative of this particular function, y is equal to a, it is equal to what? 0. So in other terms, when you differentiate a constant, it gives you 0. When you differentiate a constant, it gives you 0. What do I mean by that? If you have made y is equal to 2, and you want to differentiate the 2, how do we do it? Realize that the 2 here means that there is 2x exponent 0. So the x is exponent 0, because any number exponent 0 is equal to 1. So if any number is equal, exponential is equal to 1, you have 2, 1, which is what? 2. So if you have any constant, let's say y is equal to a, it means that there is an exponent, x exponent 0 here. So if you want to differentiate this, what you get is that the 0 multiply everything, ax 0 minus 1. And for 0 multiplying everything is equal to what? Is equal to 0. That is why the derivative of a constant is always equal to what? 0. So for instance, if you have this thing, so let's say you have y is equal to 3x squared plus x cubed plus 6. And you're asked to find the derivative dy dx. You have to find dy dx. What would dy dx be? So like that here, you take it 10 by 10. So 2 multiplying this will give 6x, 2 minus 1, which is 1. Is the same as 6x plus 3 comes in front here, which is 3x. So you assume that 1 is here. So 3, 1, which is 3. 3 minus 1, which will give you 2. Plus, because this is a constant, anytime you find the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So therefore, the dy dx now becomes 6x plus 3x squared. 6x plus 3x squared. Okay, let's take another example. So let's take this as example 1. Let's take another example 2. Okay, and this example, y is equal to 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5 all on x squared plus 5 on x squared. Okay, so this example, how do you also go about it? Now, you have to differentiate each term. So now we can rewrite this equation as 4x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5. Anytime you have 1 over x, it's the same as what? The inverse. So you have 1 over x squared, it's the same as what? X exponent negative 2. So now what this becomes 5 times x exponent what? Negative 2. Okay. So now the derivative of y with respect to x, you take each term 1 by 1. So now this will be 3 times 4, which is 12. 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1, which will give 2. Minus 2 times 3 will give what? 6. X, 2 minus 1 is the same as 1. Plus, this will give you negative 2 times 5, which will give you negative 10. X, negative 2 minus 1, because the end is negative 2. So negative 2 minus 1 will give what? Negative 3. Okay. So now what happens here is that dy dx simply becomes 12x squared minus 6x minus 10 all divided by s cubed. So this x exponent negative 3 is the same as what? So x exponent negative 3 is the same as 1 over what? S cubed. So that's why we divided it by that. Okay. Let's take one more example on the derivative. So we have y is equal to negative 10 divided by 5 root of x. So this is example 3. We have to find the derivative of dy on the x. So what happens is that this, anytime you have root of a number, is the same as what? The number raised to the power half. Okay. So this root of x is simple, which becomes negative 10 on 5 x raised to the power negative half. Because here will be x on the half, so when you take the inverse, it multiplies in this way. So the dy of the dx then becomes this half multiply this whole value over here. Okay, so this half becomes negative half times negative 10 on 5 x exponent negative half minus 1. I get it. Negative half minus 1. Okay, so now negative half minus 1 is the same as, so you get your 2, negative 1, 2, negative 2, that will be negative 3 on 2. Okay. So now you divide the x the same as, so you multiply this, you are getting negative 10, sorry, positive 10 on 10. So you get positive 10 on 10. Positive 10 on 10, x exponent negative 3 on 2. So therefore, I divide the x, then becomes 1. So 10 on 10 is what? It's 1 times x exponent negative 3 on 2. So what is negative 3 on 2, which is very simple. You can simplify it as divide this, which becomes 1 on cube root of what? Of x. 1 on cube root of what? Of x. So negative 10 divided by 5 times root of x. When you differentiate it, is what you are getting as your final answer. Okay, thanks for joining this video. Let's meet in other videos where we move on to the product rule.